All he did was make a statement. That's all. All he said was just remember who you're working for. And for that single minor human error, that little insignificant statement, Tuco took out his right-hand man. And when we look at Walter's face, he is not shocked because of the violence. He is shocked because he realizes he's no longer in a business deal. He is in the presence of a pure, chaotic force that mirrors the monster he will need to become if he's going to survive in this new world he's entering. This episode is titled a no rough stuff type deal. This is the moment when Walter White stops trying to survive and starts being the aggressor. The poison of pride. We tend to think Walt's journey is about a man forced into crime by cancer and financial ruin. We think he is a victim of his circumstances. But this episode, the season 1 finale, is the definitive proof that we are wrong. This is the story of a man who suffered from a specific ancient and deeply destructive affliction, superbia, or as we call it, pride. Pride has long been considered as the root of all sins, because it's not just about ego, it's about the desire to be your own God. It's the rejection of the life you were given in favor of a life you have manufactured for yourself. And in this episode, Walt starts manufacturing his own reality, starting with his marriage. Think about that parking lot scene. Walt strokes Skylar's leg at the PTA meeting. Then they end up having sex in the car just outside of the school. It's supposed to be erotic, but look at the dialogue. Skylar asks why it felt so good, and Walt says, because it was illegal. It is a throwaway line, of course, but it's the key to the entire series up to this point. I'm going to explain in the final minute of this video why this thrill-seeking behavior is actually the smoking gun that proves Walt's cancer treatment was never his primary motivation. The tiara and the mirror. Now, notice the parallel. While Walt is out playing mastermind, orchestrating a heist to steal methylamine, his wife Skylar is at a jewelry store faking labor to hide a stolen tiara that her sister gifted her. So you see the entanglement that we're in here. Most people watch this and think, oh, Skylar is stressed, she is acting out, or Marie is trying to escape and be someone else and give gifts that she can't afford. But you have to look at the symmetry. Walt and Skylar are doing closely the same thing. She is also lying to get out of some trouble, just like Walt is lying to get out of some trouble, in a sense. They are both violating the moral law to feel a sense of power or significance that their normal, mediocre lives aren't giving them. Skylar's sister then steals the tiara, gifts it to Skylar, but then Skylar then has to fake and make up a lie in order to get out of the repercussions of her sister's theft. Rather than turning her in or saying, I got this from my sister, and doing the right thing, quote unquote, she also covers up her reality with a lie. Walt steals the methylamine because he wants to feel like the genius the world never recognized. They are both, in a sense, addicted to their own pride, but their drugs isn't the blue crystal that Walt is cooking, it's the illusion of their superiority. The junkyard illusion. Look at the junkyard meeting as well. Jesse calls it a movie version of a drug deal. And he is right. Walt is almost directing this scene, in a sense. He is putting on the Heisenberg hat. He's wearing the shades. He isn't just negotiating. He is performing in a way. He's trying to command like a monster, like Tuco with the authority of a high school chemistry teacher. And why does he do it? Why not just walk away? He doesn't walk away because he needs, almost desperately, for Tuco to respect and fear him. That's his pride. He'd rather face death at the hands of a psychopath than face the reality that he is just another middle-aged chemistry teacher who never made his mark on the world. Now, let's talk about the thermite scene. Walt doesn't hire professionals to steal the methylamine. He insists on doing it himself. He spends hours in the kitchen carefully crafting a chemical explosive to break a lock. Why? He is risking his life for a barrel of chemicals. Now, keep watching, because later I'm going to reveal the psychological theory on why Walt's refusal to delegate is the exact mechanism that turns him from a criminal into a murderer. The mask becomes the face. This episode is titled a no rough stuff type deal, which is the ultimate irony. Walt wants rules. He wants the civilized world. But you can't have a no rough stuff deal with the devil with someone like Tuco. The moment Tuco beats down Nodos to a pulp almost, Walt stares, horrified. He realizes the board he is playing on is not a classroom or a lab. It is a slaughterhouse. But he doesn't leave. He doesn't run. He doesn't go back to his wife and his baby and son and his boring, safe life. He stays. He accepts the deal. He accepts the circumstances that Tuco has established. That is the moment that the Heisenberg mask fuses to his face and starts to consume the skin underneath, almost like the Venom character in the Marvel movies. The architecture of failure. Why does Walt do all of this? We continue to ask episode after episode. We've seen the genius, the plan, and the explosion, but we need to address the tragedy. Walt thinks he is building a legacy. That's the illusion that he's operating under. He doesn't just see himself as a drug dealer. He thinks he's building an empire, almost like a new gray matter. He thinks that by providing the money, that by being the architect of his family's future, he is doing the right thing. But look at his life. He is lying to his wife. He is terrorizing his partner. And he is walking into the den of a killer over and over again. He is building a monument to himself, not a home for his family. And in this process, he is dismantling the only thing that actually gave him a significant life in the first place, the quiet love of his family. Now, this is the theory that I promised early on. We have talked about the pride, the shoplifting, and the transformations. But here's the truth that recontextualizes everything. Walt's Heisenberg persona is actually a way of saying goodbye. When Walt tells Skyler that their sexual encounter in the parking lot of the school where Walt works felt good and that it was because it was illegal, he isn't being edgy. He's being honest. He is a man who spent his entire life following the rules, playing the good guy role, and he ended up with the short end of the stick, with nothing to show for it. No money, no status, no respect from anyone. In his mind, the good life was a failed experiment. So when he walks into that junkyard and creates the blue meth, he isn't just selling a product, he is rejecting his old identity as a provider because he is terrified that without the mask, the world will finally see that he is and always has been just a man who did not know how to be significant. He didn't want the money to save his family. He wanted the fear that he receives from others to validate his existence. He chose to become a monster just so he wouldn't have to be forgotten. And that realization that his entire criminal career is born not from necessity, but from a desperate, fragile vanity is why this episode is the true, dark, and final death of Walter White. The man who walks out of that junkyard is no longer a father. He's an empty vessel that finally found something to fill the void, fear and power. That was episode number 7 of Breaking Bad. If you enjoyed this breakdown, you can find the previous and next episodes linked in the description. They will also come up at the end of the video. I am currently summarizing the most iconic stories in film, literature, television, and scripture. From The Wire, The Sopranos, The Odyssey, the Bible. So if you want to keep up with our entire archive, make sure to check out the playlist below. If these deep dives have added value to your experience of these shows, the best way to help me keep this channel going is by joining our community on Patreon. You'll get access to exclusive perks and you'll be directly responsible for helping me produce these analysis videos. You can also grab some channel merchandise or buy us a coffee via the links in the description. Every bit of support helps me put more time into these scripts. So thank you for watching and I will see you in the next episode.